Welcome to the very first part of this program. This is probably one of the most important parts of the program because I am going to be doing a lot of paradigm shifting for you, meaning some beliefs that you've had about men and relationships and women are going to be completely transformed, and you're going to start looking at them from here. Okay. You've been looking at them from this different perspective, and you've learned things not because it was your fault, but because the world taught you certain things. And now you're going to be actually learning them the correct way that you should have always known them. The only reason you haven't is because the world is messed up. People are full of sin and trauma and programming that's passed down. You've been passed down the wrong information, and your mind learned things kind of differently at one point, or picked up something because it liked it, and you started using that. You understand that you've been using a masculine attraction strategy on men, and that's why you've been repelling them instead of attracting them. You've been using the method that guys use to get women, and you've been trying to get a man with with methods to get a woman, and that's why it hasn't been working. So again, it's not your fault, but the biggest thing that I want you to understand that in this particular module or this video lesson is I'm going to be changing a lot of your concepts. If you don't listen to any other modules, and this one, I want you to listen to it like over and over and over until all these concepts get programmed into your subconscious, to where you just recite them and you can teach them to somebody. If you can share this information with somebody, that means you've learned it. And if you've learned it, that means your brain and your body and your emotions know it, and you will easily be able to do it easier. Okay. Easily be able to do it easier. That doesn't make any sense, but who cares? We don't care about messing up here. So again, if you found me somehow on the interwebs and you're here, and you already know that you picked up male methods and you've been using male methods on men and it doesn't work on men. Male methods, male dating strategies, they use that to get women. And you've been using male methods on men and it doesn't get men. What it ends up getting you is what I call losers, liars, and little boys. You don't want these guys because they make you do all the work and they make you feel very insecure and needy and fearful. We don't want feeling that way. And that's probably why dating has felt really uncomfortable for you. Now you're going to be learning the feminine way of dating, which is when you use feminine dating strategies, when you use a feminine attraction system, when you use that system, you actually attract great masculine, loving, and loyal men that are emotionally available, men that want a relationship, men that want to fall in love, men that know how to treat women, men that are honest, good men, okay? Men that lead, men that protect, men that provide, men that are loving and that are really loyal. They don't make you feel crappy about your feelings. They know how to lead. They have a plan, they have a job, they provide, they're just really great guys. So that's why relationships have felt really like a struggle. And listen, I was like that too. So this particular module in this program, a lot of these concepts I share in my content out in the world. So if you've been following me for a really long time, and you got this program, you may know a lot of these already. However, I'm creating this program in 2024, and I'm going to put it out before I start actually sharing a lot of my concepts. So you might get this program because you're an early adopter. You already know what you want, and you get things. You buy things from me very quickly, which is great. You know what you need and you buy it. Plus, it's a very easy investment to make, right? It's not very expensive. And you haven't learned a lot of these concepts. It's okay, great, perfect. Listen to this video and keep them in your mind. Over and over and over. Also, I am healing. I just got over from having tonsillitis, laryngitis, and bronchitis. I still have a bit of a cough. My voice is at 95% probably. If I cough, I am so sorry. I'm going to try my best to edit it out. But I don't like over editing my videos because I want them to feel very conversational. I don't want them to be I want them to feel like we're just having a conversation and we're just hanging out, right? So you can listen to this video and look at the PDF. I'm not going to have slides and B-roll. Maybe later at some point I'll hire an editor to put in pictures and words and stuff into my videos. But for now, if you got this in 2024, you'll probably get the video where it's just me talking, or you're listening to the audio, which is totally fine too. But if you want to read, if you're somebody that learns better when looking at paperwork, look at it, the PDF, okay? But this one is all the main concepts about how men fall in love, how women fall in love, the differences between the two, how differently they fall in love, and what falling in love actually is in your body and in a man's body, okay? They're very, very different. The reason you need to know this is because if you understand how men fall in love, you understand why you're having him chase, challenge, and give, okay? And you'll understand why you're doing the things that you're doing to influence him to come towards you, to be challenged and to give. If you don't listen to this module, you're not going to understand why I'm doing everything, and it's going to feel like you're just playing a game. You're not playing a game. What you're doing is you're being the feminine woman. This is what feminine women did back in the freaking Stone Age, ladies. We stopped doing these things because society taught us to be more masculine. We got out of our traditional gender roles. And when we got out of our traditional gender roles in career, we unintentionally brought it into relationships, and it's been messing up our relationship dynamics. Some women were smart or some women learned from their moms really well how to date in a feminine way, and those are the women with successful relationships with great men that are loving and providing and loyal and great family guys. I was not one of those women. I had to learn it by doing thousands of hours in research, and that's why I'm giving it to you, okay? So the reason relationships have felt difficult is because you've picked up the masculine methods instead of the feminine methods. You're gonna learn the feminine way, but you have to understand how original men work and how original women work, how we each fall in love, how differently we each fall in love, what our body goes through when we fall in love, and what experiences that a man and a woman need to have in order to fall in love. So you understand the protocol that I'm having you do in Chase, Challenge, and the Give modules, okay? Makes a lot of sense. You'll get it once you start listening to the program, okay? If you have any questions and you want to know more as you're going through the program, I mentioned this in the previous video, join the Feminine Attraction Mastery private community that I have. It's very inexpensive. You can join at any time and cancel at any time. I'm not keeping you in there for a year or 6 months or whatever. You can join at any time. There's already a great program in there called How to Master Your Feminine Energy. I do a lot of exclusive stuff in there, and then I go live with you 2 times a month on our call, so you can ask any questions you have. Even if you listen to this program and you have like just 2 questions that you want to ask, and even if you can't make the call live, submit your question and I'll answer it, and then you get your $17 worth, however much the program is worth. I mean, the community is right now, as the new community, it's $17. Depending on when you join the program, it might be a little bit more, but I'll always make it affordable. I don't think it'll ever be more than $50. I'm just not interested in like making $1 billion. I'm more interested in helping women and men fall in love and create great families, so we have great healthy children and we have no more trauma and no more divorce, because divorce is a trauma. And so that's my bigger mission, and that's why I created this program. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. Other coaches, they are, and I won't talk about that. Anyway, and listen, I used to be that way. God healed me from that. Okay. So that's what this module is about. All the information you need is in the PDF. If you have any questions, join the community, ask me there. Please don't DM me on Instagram or anything. I just don't check my DMs like that. I just get way too many, and everything always goes into like the requested folder, and then I just don't check it. I'm a woman that's very focused on my family, my children, and my clients, and I try to make myself really available to you guys, to make the podcast and my newsletter. You get a lot of information in the podcast, in the newsletter, and in my private community. So if you want access to me and have questions, join me there. I have so much free content, the newsletter and the podcast, and then the community is very, very inexpensive. So, all right, so let's get into it. I'm going to start off by telling you why, just right off the bat, why the program is called, or the 3 specific modules are Chase, Challenge, and Give. Here's why. In order for men to fall in love with a woman, in order for a man to feel deeply, deeply bonded to her and make him want to commit to a woman, in order for a man to say, she is the woman that I want to be with for the rest of my life, he needs to pursue you, chase you, He needs to be the one that comes and finds you and goes after you. He needs to be challenged to get you. It can't be easy. It needs to feel like a conquest. Men love to achieve and be successful at things. So he needs to have a challenge to get you, and he needs to give to you in order to fall in love with you. Okay. I know this sounds weird, but I never want you to forget that. Those are the three main things that I'm going to drill into you for as long as you know me. You will always hear me talk about chasing, challenging, and giving. That's just how men are wired. I know it's weird. So let's find out why that is the case. And again, I'm looking at my notes. I'm going to be reading from here. So if you're listening to the program, cool. You won't see that I'm looking to the side, but if you're watching this is why my eyes are to the left, because I never want to forget any important information that I'm sharing with you. Okay. All right. So the three main things that you must keep top of mind when you are with him, okay, is a man needs to pursue you. He is designed to chase you, and women are designed to choose. I was going to call this program Be the Chooser, Not the Chaser, but you guys wouldn't understand what the heck this program is about. I called it the feminine attraction system, so that you would understand that it's about a woman being in her feminine, and that's how she attracts a guy, right? And because for a lot of I think of society now, especially in the world that we live in, we've been taught to go after things. We've been taught to if you want something, go get it. And because we can. We live in a wonderful world that women fought for a lot of our rights so that we can vote, so that we can work, so that we can make a lot of money, so that we can be entrepreneurs, so that we can be mothers and wives and just have a lot of the things that men were more normalized to have, right? But we brought those things into our relationships, and it's really messed up the dynamics. Relationships used to work really well back in the day, but I want to explain to you why that used to be, okay? Men need a challenge. What do I mean by, the first one was men need to pursue you. So they need to chase. Men are literally physically designed how to chase you. I'm going to explain why. Men need a challenge, meaning they need to be challenged with time. They need to be challenged to give their time, their effort, and they need to have high standards. They need to be challenged by those things. They need to always be putting in the effort, and they need to know that they have high standards that they need to reach. This is a challenge for them. Think of it like a game. Relationships are a game. Some people play, they've called it, like you've heard, like there's like this book, I forget, Neil Strauss, I think his name is. It was really famous in the early 2000s. He called it the game. And it's because I believe that he understands the male mind and the women mind, and how men look at the conquest of loving a woman as kind of a game, because men need to feel that challenge and chase. And if you think about a video game, they go through levels, right? They have to achieve, they have to get certain points, and they have to do certain things. It's no different in relationships, ladies. If you think of men evolutionarily from back in the days, they had to go hunting for food. They had to get up in the morning. They had to go hunt. They had to kill the animal, and they had to bring it back home, and they gave it to their families. They got a lot of confidence from this. And it's no different in relationships. What happened is times changed. We got technology, the industrial era, factories, cars, radios, TVs, cell phones, the internet, Wi-Fi, all these things now, right? It's so different now, social media, and times have changed, but we have not. This is what's beautiful about man and woman. The body doesn't change, and because our bodies don't change, and love is a biological thing that happens, we have used and adapted to the new world, and we've been using new methods. It doesn't work when it comes to love. That's why if you think about relationships now, there's so many breakups, there's so much divorce, because we've been using the strategies that we think work in this time, and they don't work. We need to go back to the old way of doing things, because our brain is still old. It hasn't changed. The brain doesn't evolve, ironically. We learn to use new tools, right? Like computers and cars and wheels and fire and factories and jobs and things like that, and living in homes. But we've actually gotten lazier, and women have been more masculine. Okay. So that's why it's different. But men need a challenge. That's how they fall in love with a woman. And the last one is men need to give in order to fall in love and commit to a woman. They need to give. They need to give money. They need to give their time, their effort. They need to give their love. They need to give their support. They need to give protection. They need to provide for a woman. And that's how a man falls in love. I'm going to go into all that. Okay. And I know that's weird, but you're learning, think of it as you're learning a whole new way of thinking, the correct way of thinking. And I pray that it changes the way you look at yourself and relationships, right? When he chases, you get his focus and you get his attention. Remember, if someone's running, he is focused on something and his attention is there. So when he chases you, he's focused on you and his attention is on you. Okay. When he's challenged, he wants you even more and desires to come back. Challenges for a man make him feel very confident. They make him feel smart. They make him feel really happy. And they make him really feel that he feels really great when he's with you. And because he feels really great when he's with you, he wants to come back to the places where he feels good, okay, when he's challenged. And then lastly, he must give to you. When he gives to you, it creates an undeniable bond between you guys, and it makes him never want to leave you or date any other women. When he gives to you, when people invest their time, their effort, their money, anything, whenever they commit, when men commit and give to something, he says, I've invested a lot there. That's mine. And when I gave to that thing and it made it really great, it made my woman really great. She's mine. I want her and I don't want anybody else. So notice, chasing or pursuing, him coming to you, right? Him coming to you, him being challenged, and then him giving makes him want you, appreciate you, feel deeply connected to you, feel really good about himself, makes him want to come back all the time, and it makes him very focused and his attention is on you. There's a reason why women that fall back and aren't chasing after guys get the guys, right? You've seen these women. We've all seen these women. I've always like, how do I do that? I never learned. Now that I've used these methods, you guys have, I can't wait to share more of these stories. If you want to hear more of my stories, my dating stories, subscribe to the Marriage Material newsletter. I share all my stuff there. This is about you right now. All right. Okay, let's get into the 3 modules. Okay. The first one, we're going to be talking about the biology of love. All right. All right. Falling in love. Okay, why do men and women fall in love? And why do they fall in love differently? Men are one way, women are one way. We each have the capacity to fall in love. Men want to fall in love, ladies, and so do women, but we each fall in love in a very different way. We have to experience different things in order for us to fall in love. Why? Because the reason we experience it differently is because we each have different bodies. We each have different minds. We have different hormones, and we have different. And the reason is, see how we're designed. Women are designed with estrogen, progesterone, periods, ovaries. We have a womb. We make babies. We have breasts. All the things that we have is so that we can reproduce babies and that we can multiply in this world. It's because we're designed for a certain purpose. Our purpose is to. I tell women, if you join the community, you'll see my program where I talk about women are made to influence, we're made to multiply, we're made to procreate, have babies, and we're made to be supporters and helpers of our husband so that he can go out and make all the money and bring it back so we could just kind of sit back and enjoy it, right? And because of that, our bodies are designed a certain way, and because your body is designed a certain way, certain things need to happen to you in order for you to fall in love. And a man, he doesn't have ovaries and breasts and he doesn't carry children. He is made to impregnate you and he's a more logical creature and you're a more emotional creature. I always tell women are emotional feelers, men are logical thinkers. Why? We need to be feelers. We need to be all in our emotions because we need to be intuitive to our baby's needs, to our husband's needs, to our community's needs. Women are meant to be in community with other women and other men. We're made to be with our families. We're made to know when our baby's hungry, to know when our baby needs to go to sleep, when he or she is in pain, when she wants to play, when she needs to, all the things, right? So we're made to be very intuitive. And so it's almost like we wear our heart in our sleeve. That's very much on purpose because we need to be able to take care of our babies. And we need to be able to notice when our man is off so that we can support him so that he can be encouraged and then he can go off and kill the tigers and bring home the bacon, right? So we're made to be emotional feelers. Because we're emotional feelers, though, we're made a specific way. We fall in love a lot easier because we wear our heart on our sleeve. We're in touch with our emotions. Men, on the other hand, they're made to be logical thinkers. Why? Because if they were emotional feelers, all they would want to do is stay home with you and love you all day and be lazy with you and love you and not go out and hunt and kill the animals and bring them home. They're not as in touch with their emotions because they need to not be. They need to be able to be thinking a lot so that they can be spotting animals. Even their body is made to spot animals, kill them, take up territories, bring animals back so that they can protect their family and provide for their family. And so we want them to be logical. If they were emotional, they would be lazy little people that just want to be home and doing nothing. But there are men like this. We've all met these guys. These are men that don't have a lot of testosterone in their system. Usually this happens because of trauma or because of things that happened in their childhood, or they weren't modeled a man that protects and provides. And so know that if you have a guy that doesn't work a lot, that isn't a leader, that doesn't go out and he likes to expand territory, buy real estate, take up space in the world, have creative ideas, has a vision, has plans, makes a lot of money, wants to provide for you, he lacks testosterone, he lacks that drive, and you'll understand why that is. So he has to be more of a thinker because he can't be emotional or else he won't want to leave and go and work. He needs to plan and strategize so he can think and bring home the bacon. We want him to be a thinker. Women get mad when a guy doesn't feel a lot. Men do. It's our job as feminine women, and you're going to learn about this, how to get him to get out of his head and into his body so that he does feel when he is with you. And a woman that gets a guy to get out of his head and in his emotions and fall in love, that's who gets the guy. When you're masculine and you're in your head, you don't attract him, okay? So women, emotional feelers, men, logical thinkers. We're designed this way because of our purpose. Our purposes are different. Protection, provider, multiplier, supporter, helper, right? Mom with the babies. That's why we're different. And because of our bodies are different, we fall in love differently. Okay. All right. I'm going to get back to my notes. All right. So the feeling of being in love is an emotional and mental state that happens only after specific neurotransmitters, these are hormones, chemicals that help your cells in your body communicate with one another, in your body are created but influenced by external experiences you have with the man. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to read it slowly. The feeling of being in love is an emotional and mental state. It's a state of mind and state of emotions that you have that happens only after specific neurotransmitters, these are chemicals that help your cells communicate with one another, in your body are created. And they're created by being influenced with external circumstances or experience that you have with a man and a man has with you. So the state of being in love is a biological, mental, and emotional state that happens, that's created when you have certain experiences with the opposite gender, and those create those certain chemicals in your brain and body. Isn't that dope? People talk about falling in love or being in love. It's an actual mental and emotional state of mind. It's like, that state of mind you go into like when it's time to work and you're like, I got to get this project done. That's like a very focused flow state of mind. I have a state of mind that I use like when I work out. right? I have a state of mind, my mothering state of mind that I'm in. I'm more loving, I'm more compassionate, I'm like more fun, I'm more playful when I'm with my kids. I have a state of mind when I'm with my guy. Well, the state of being in love is it's created after you have certain experiences with a man, and it's created in a man after he has certain experiences with a woman. Isn't that cool? All right, and surprise, surprise, men require different experiences than women. Men need 3 specific neurotransmitters to be present, and that's what makes them fall in love. Whereas women, we just need 2 to fall in love. And this is what I'm so sorry. And this is what makes it, this is what makes women fall in love easier than men. This is why we may think like a guy can have sex and just hang out with you and it takes him a long while to fall in love and choose you. This is why they're wired differently, and women are wired differently. We fall in love a lot easier and faster. So if you don't want to fall in love fast, this is so important for you to listen to, okay? And trust me, you don't want to fall in love fast, and I'm going to explain why. All right, chemicals create connection. God made the human body perfectly with biological processes that are actually really, really easy to understand. They also require life and relationships to happen in a very specific order in order for you to reap the benefits of a healthy relationship, healthy attraction, love, and a long-lasting commitment. I'm gonna say that again. God made the human body perfectly with biological processes that are actually really easy to understand. They also require life and relationships to happen in a very specific order in order for you, woman, to reap the benefits of healthy attraction, love, and long-lasting commitment. When you understand your internal system and his, how it functions, why he feels how he feels and does what he does, and how these chemicals are influenced by your experiences with him, you'll be able to feel more in charge of the dating experience and feel extremely confident every time you communicate with him. So sorry. I'm going to say that again because this is a really important part. When you understand your internal system and how it functions and why he feels how he feels and does what he does and how these chemicals in his body are influenced by your experiences with him, you'll be able to feel more in charge of the dating experience and feel extremely confident every time you communicate with him. So in other words, once you understand that the feelings that he has for you are created by the experiences he has with you, and they have to happen in a certain order, your dating is going to feel really easy for you because you're just going to know, okay, I just need to get him to chase here. I just need to get him to challenge. I just need to get him to give. I got to get him to feel attracted. You understand what I mean? I got to get him to feel connected, and I got to get him to bond with me. Once you understand that there's just 3 main stages with him, the attraction, the connection, and the bonding stage, dating's going to feel really simple to you. It's just going to feel like a formula. Excuse me. It's just going to feel like a formula. I probably should have waited a couple days to film this, but I'm so eager to get this to you guys. And I know for me, dating feels like it feels so simple. And you guys, this is why men, a lot of men aren't really nervous when they date women because they trust themselves. They trust their bodies. They trust themselves to go through the flow of a relationship with a woman. Men love dating. Dating is really fun for them. And I noticed that a lot of women, and for me, I hated dating. Dating felt so nerve-wracking because I was like, does he like me? Does he not like me? Do I like him? What do I need to do? I didn't understand that dating was just a process that had to happen organically, and there was certain steps and certain stages that had to happen. Men, I believe that men intuitively know this. They don't know this consciously. They're not like, I need to be attracted. I need to bond to her. They don't know this, but they understand that I will know when I fall in love with a woman, and I'm just going to let things happen. And I know that once I feel differently about a woman, that's the woman that I'm going to choose to fall in love with. Until I feel that way, I'm not committing. Excuse me, my strap fell down. And This is why guys are really comfortable dating. Now that you know this, trust me, dating's gonna feel really, really easy for you. You're just gonna show up and be like, I'm the prize. I get to be the one that actually chooses. He's the one that needs to chase me. And it's going to feel really, really easy for you. This is why dating didn't feel easy for you before. You thought you had to like do a bunch of stuff, and you actually don't have to do a bunch of stuff. You just get to have fun and be yourself. Okay. All right. The feel good chemicals. A woman has to have 2 neurotransmitters, dopamine and oxytocin, that build up to a certain level in order for her to be attracted to a man and ultimately fall in love with him. There's also another chemical called neuroepinephrine, and this is it's kind of like the anxiety feeling that you have, that nervous anxiety, but it's also attraction that makes you a little nervous. I don't talk about that one too much because I don't really want you to focus on that one. I want you to focus on dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical, and oxytocin, which is the fall in love chemical in you. Those are the 2 main that you need to feel. You're going to feel neuroepinephrine. It feels like anxiety. I'm going to tell you how to use that one correctly and how to not let it freak you out. Okay. So women have 2 main ones that they need: dopamine, oxytocin. I never want you to forget this. I always want you to remember this. You need dopamine, which is, oh my gosh, I like him. I want to come back. This is that. It's a dopamine hit that you get whenever you open Pinterest, I'll say that for myself, or Netflix, or Instagram, or when you get an email from somebody or a text from somebody. It's like, you get excited. That's dopamine, okay? It's that dopamine hit you get when you drink coffee or you're excited to do something, okay? Or when you find a cute outfit and you're excited to put it on. That's what dopamine is. And oxytocin, this is the hormone that you feel when you when you have sex, when you're connected to him physically, when you're really attracted to him and into him, your body starts creating oxytocin and you fall in love, okay? Men need 3: testosterone, vasopressin, and dopamine. These 3 are critically important because they help him experience the feelings of attraction, drive to court you, bonding, and then committing, which he will only do when he's in love. So I'm going to repeat that. Men need 3 hormones. Dopamine, just like you guys both need dopamine. He needs testosterone, and he needs vasopressin. These 3 are critically important because they help him experience the feelings of attraction, drive to move towards you, bonding, and then commitment, which he will only do when he falls in love. So it makes him attracted to you. It makes him interested in you. It makes him feel connected to you. It makes him feel bonded to you. It makes him fall in love with you. And then it makes him commit. Okay. So important. You just need dopamine and oxytocin. He gets oxytocin too, but he doesn't react to oxytocin the same. I will explain that later. Okay. So what's the overall message here? He needs to chase, aka pursue you, in order to feel like he's moving towards a woman he's actually attracted to and interested in. He wants to know that if he gets you, he's with a woman that he himself is naturally and physically attracted to. This is important to him. Why? He will not be with someone that was forced on him, because someone else knows what's best for him. And I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to explain this why. But first I want to read it to you, okay? A man trusts himself, and he innately trusts that he knows what he likes and that he knows what's best for him and that he goes after what he wants and is interested in. This helps him build his self-confidence, and it helps him trust his gut, and it helps him have feelings and understand his feelings and his desires. His ability to lead himself and create the life that he wants, especially the love life that he wants. So I'm gonna read this again, and I'm gonna kind of interject with a little bit of explanations here. Okay. A man needs to chase and pursue you in order to feel like he is moving towards a woman that he is actually attracted to and interested in. He wants to know that if he commits to you and he actually wins you over and gets you, It's because he's with a woman that he is naturally and physically attracted to. This is really important to him. He will not be with someone that was forced on him because someone else knows what's best for him. A lot of us women force ourselves on guys. Maybe you're not this type, but if you're here, you're probably, you are here because you are somebody who leads with your masculine energy. You're independent, you're successful, you're very strong, you've overcome a lot, you're a survivor. Maybe you're even a single mom like me. We have a lot of masculine energy and we get things done. We go after things we want and we get them and make them happen. Because we do that, we have the ability, we're really good at like convincing people, talking people through things. You're probably really good at sales like I am. And because of that, we tend to, with men, try to convince men and sell ourselves onto men. Men do not like this. Why? He wants to feel like he made the decision to be with you. He doesn't want his mom he doesn't want to be fixed up. He doesn't want his buddies or everybody to be like, date Maria, date Sandra, date Anabell. No, a man wants to know that he chose you because he's attracted to you and he himself is interested in you. He needs to be the one that sees you, spots you, and says, she's interesting, she's different, whatever it is that he feels about you when he sees you out in the world. And he wants to be the one that he wants to be the one that chose you. Why? This helps him build his confidence about his decision making. He doesn't want to feel like something was put on him, not his career, not where he lives, nothing. A lot of women want a guy that they can control and that they can coerce and be the one that makes all the decisions. If you're like that, this program is not for you. Trust me. You will not want to even do any of the things that in this program. Why is this important? A man wants to know that he's with a woman that trusts him, that believes him, that goes to him when she needs something, that really respects him. And when he goes after a woman and he conquers you and he wins you over, he knows that he got you or won you over because of who he is and not because you made him and manipulated him into it. A man doesn't want to be manipulated. If he feels like he's being manipulated, he will not want you. That's why when women do this, the man automatically resists you. You go into what's called the convincer mode and he goes into resisting. So it's really important that you understand that when a man goes after you, this is the first and most important part of the feminine attraction system, is because he needs to be the one that knows that he chose you on his own volition. He needs to be the one that said that he spotted you and he was interested and he was the one to initiate the relationship, and he asked you out and he got you because he's the one that made the decision. If you guys can meet in a fun way where somehow you started it in some fun way, but not the courting process, not the falling in love process, not the pursuing process, not the commitment process, okay? That needs to be on his own. Why? I'm going to read this again. He will not be with someone that was forced on him because someone else knew what's best for him. A man innately trusts that he knows what he likes and that he knows what's right for him, and he goes after what's right for him and what he's interested in. This helps him build his self-confidence and trusting his gut and his feelings and his desires. Him actually courting you and going after you makes him even more confident, and it makes him lead more, and it makes him give it to you. It makes him more of a man. It makes him better. Why? He feels like he got a wonderful woman, and it makes him trust himself more, which makes him understand himself more, which actually makes him more in touch with his feelings and his thoughts and his actions, and it makes him open up to you more. And it makes him trust you a lot more because he trusts himself when he's with you. This is really, really important. You want a man that trusts himself. You want a man that's confident. You want a man that trusts his gut. Why? This is a man that knows how to lead. This is a man that makes decisions, that makes plans, that has a vision, that does things, that is creative, that takes action. If a man doesn't do this, he's a guy that's like really chill and like doesn't go after things, and you will bear the brunt of that. When you're with a man that doesn't trust himself, that is scared of the world, that's scared of himself, that doesn't know his thoughts, doesn't know his feelings, doesn't know that he can trust himself, he is a man that doesn't make a lot of money. He's a man that doesn't protect you, that doesn't provide for you. He's not in touch with his emotions, so he will not be in touch with yours. And it's a man that isn't ambitious and doesn't think really big and provides for his family. He thinks really small. He's more feminine. And by that I mean he's just more he's more risk averse, and he doesn't think really big, and he doesn't create a really big life for himself. Men that trust themselves and are really confident have big lives. And that's why the women that are with those guys have experienced really a life that's really great, because they're with a guy that's really confident. You want a man like that. Trust me. I was with a man that was more scared, that didn't think big, that thought a lot smaller. And there was nothing wrong with him. He's great. Oh, there's women that want a small life too. And they just want the basics. And that's total, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a woman that wants a man that's really confident, even if he doesn't provide a lot, he's not crazy rich, but he's confident, he's really respectful, he's in touch with his emotions, he communicates well, you want a masculine man. This is the kind of man that you will get if he pursues you. If you pursue him and you rush after him, you are going to get a guy that doesn't ever feel like he won you over and conquered you. And therefore, he doesn't value you. He's not going to put you on the pedestal and treat you like the beautiful little diamond and gentle glass piece that you are. He's not going to treat you with loving care. He's going to just take you for granted. And he's going to just like not care for you the way a masculine man does. I hope you guys are understanding the concept I'm sharing here. Okay. This is really, really important. Okay. All right. Let me go back into this. All right. The mind of a masculine man. This is what a man, what he wants and what he needs. A man needs respect, okay? He needs to feel accepted. He needs to feel praised. He needs to feel needed, all right? A man needs a challenge. He needs challenge in his life. Men, there's this saying, easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. But then it goes on to say hard times create strong men, and strong men create easy times. And it's this wonderful vicious cycle that men who are challenged, who are forced to get out of their comfort zone, are men that are strong, and strong men create easy lives for women and children. Okay? Do you guys see this? So men that are given challenges and that are forced to grow up and do hard things become strong, and then strong men are men that lead, that protect, that provide. They make a world where women do less and they get to just follow and be taken care of. You want a man that is challenged. A man that is not challenged, that is just comfortable, is weaker. And a man that is weak creates it makes a woman be in her masculine. Do you see the dynamic? We don't want these guys. And you don't want to be in your masculine. Why? You're overworked, you're underloved, you're overwhelmed. I was like this my entire life because I was raised by a dad that was that wanted to be strong, but he couldn't because he had his own demons. He had alcoholism and things like that. So he took the easy way out a lot of times, which is he drank to numb his feelings. And because he couldn't deal with hard times and couldn't persevere, he was weak. And he made my mom have to protect herself and be strong. And then they fought, and then it created that horrible dynamic. So men that are challenged actually are stronger, and strong men provide really well for women, and women feel really, really loved and secure with them. They trust strong men. A weak man, you don't trust him and you don't respect him. Okay. Next, men need to give their resources. Men need to give protection. Men need to provide. They need to give provision. They need to give food and love and care and support. Okay. This is what men need. Okay. Men want to win. Men want that prize. Men want the championship. Men want the title. Think of sports players, guys. This is why men like sports, why they like hunting, why they like video games. They like to win. It is in them to hunt, kill, bring home the food, and provide, and it makes them feel like winners. They need they need to win. Men, and when they win, they think of it, they get a prize, they get the championship, okay? And when men win and they get the championship, that championship is either like a title, it's money, it's food, whatever it is. When they kill the animal, right? They win the video game, whatever. It makes them feel very confident. They either get money from that, they get a title, they get a career, they get food, they get cars, homes, whatever it is, right? When they're challenged and they win the prize, right? So when men win, it brings confidence. The other way that I want you to think of it too is when men want a prize, the prize for a man is a high value, respectable, feminine woman. That is what men prize. That is what they see as value. Why? A high value woman requires of a man, a high value feminine woman requires a man to give his time, his effort, and his standards. Okay? I'm gonna ingrain this in you farther along as we go into the program. I'm gonna explain more of this. But a feminine woman requires a man to date her, and she requires. Remember, I said this earlier. She requires him to give his time, his effort, challenge, and she has high standards, and it requires him to raise to those standards with the game so that he can win the prize, which is her. Right? So when a man gets the prize, he will look at a woman when she's the prize that he gets. He wins you over. He conquers you. He chases after you. He's challenged, and then he wins you over. Right? And he wins you. He feels like he won. It makes him feel so confident. It makes him feel like a winner. It makes him feel like the best man in the world. And a good woman to a man is what I would call, and I'm not saying this in a pejorative way. It's not meant to be derogative. It is meant to show you that men look at beautiful, feminine, beautiful, wonderful, soft women as a status symbol. When a good man has a good woman by his side that he won, not just an easy woman that slept with him on the second or third date, he does not value that woman. He doesn't respect her. He wants a woman that he respects, that he had to work hard for, that he was challenged, that he had to chase, and that he had to win the championship for, right? And that woman, he is proud of her. He's proud to put her on his Instagram. He is proud to say that, tag her on all his photos. He is proud to show that he's always with that woman. Why? Because he worked really hard for her. Men want things that they work really hard for. Does that make sense? So men need, again, these are the 5 things. Men need respect. Men need a challenge. Men need to give. Men want a prize. And lastly, the last thing I wrote is he's a logical thinker. I already told you that he's a logical thinker. He is made to think. Men are more in their head. Why are they in their head? Because they're always thinking about how to kill the animal and play the game and strategize to bring home the bacon and kill the tiger and feed his family, right? To go to work all day, be in his head to strategize work, and then get the money to bring it home, right? So that he can have the things that he needs in order to attract a great woman, right? So we want guys in their head. We want a logical thinker. Women complain about guys being thinkers. No, this is a really great thing. You want him to be a thinker, okay? So men need respect, and guys feel respected when they feel accepted, when he is praised, when he feels needed by you, when he feels like you need him, when he feels praised, like you're celebrating him, when he feels accepted by you, meaning you like everything about him, you're not trying to change him, he feels respected by you, okay? Secondly, he needs a challenge. He needs to chase you, right? He needs to go after you. He needs to feel like you're not easy to get. If you're easy, he's not going to want you. He thinks something's wrong with you. There's something called the possum effect. If a possum, you guys have heard that. I've talked about it in my social media and a lot of my content. The possum effect is possums are trained in nature to play dead, because when they play dead, they know that predators want to hunt, and they want to kill the animal, and they want to win that prize and bring it home, right, and eat it, just like men. When a man gets, when a predator sees a possum, his stress response is triggered. When a man finds an animal, he's like, oh, food. But then he sees that it's dead, because possums play dead so that they aren't killed. They play dead. They drop their body their blood pressure, and they stop breathing almost to the point where it seems like they're dead. And the predator's like, what's wrong with it? Oh, if it's already dead, there must be something wrong. He gets into a stress response, and he leaves. A lot of animals, predators leave possums because they think that something's wrong with it. If it's already dead, why is it seems too easy. And then he walks away. He doesn't, predators don't go after possums. This is the same for a woman that just comes up to a man and says, I'm here. I want you. You can have me. You can have sex with me. You don't have to do anything for me. You just get me, and quickly I'm going to fall in love with you in 5 seconds. Men think the same thing. There's something wrong with you. Men want something that they have to hunt for and be challenged for. I'm going to say this over and over and over and over and over again. But you understand, if men need a challenge, they don't want something that doesn't challenge them. If it's too easy, it's not going to trigger the chase, challenge, and give in him. Okay. So, why? Because once he kills it, he feels really good about himself because he won. He did something good. He was successful, and it makes him feel like he got the championship. He won the prize. He overcame something really difficult, like a basketball game, right? Let's say first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Oh my gosh, fourth quarter, we won. Great. That was so hard. That the game was really hard, and we won. We won the championship. Heck yeah. They're so happy, right? So men need respect. Men need to chase, men need the challenge, and men need to give because they want the prize, right? And they're in their head a lot because they're logical thinkers. That's the way they're designed. Nothing's wrong there, right? Feminine design. Let's talk about you. You, what you want, what you need. Women, the way men need respect, we need love. You need love. It's very, very different. What does love look like? This looks like you want to be seen. You want someone to see you. You want to be accepted. You want to be treated with care. You want attention. You want conversation. Women fall in love when you're seen, when you're accepted for who you are, when you're treated with a lot of gentleness and care, when someone pays attention to you, when you guys have conversation. That's how women fall in love. I'm going to go into this a lot more. Women need support. We need emotional support, mental support. We need leadership. We need to be led. We need finances. We need financial support, even our own, right? We want protection. We want to feel safe. And we need a plan. We need to know details about what's going on. This is how you feel supported, okay? A woman needs rest. Like men can work really hard. We're not made to work really hard. We actually need rest. Why? We have a cycle. We're not like men. Men have 24-hour cycles. We have like a monthly cycle, right? So your cycle, you actually need to recharge. You need to charge your battery. You need to conserve your energy. Why? Because women, we serve in a different way. We have our emotions. We use our emotions a lot, and they can be draining. And so because of that, and you have your periods and you're ovulating and all your actual menstrual cycle, it burns you out. And because we have babies and things like that, because we make babies and we take care of babies and we're serving people, we actually need to rest a lot in order to recharge. A lot of you women that are in your masculine energy do not rest a lot. You beat yourself up when you rest. I used to be that way. Don't do that. Resting is so essential. When you're done with work, sweetie, turn off work and just rest and have fun at home and relax, right? Yes, I get it. You still have to pick up kids and cook dinner and stuff like that, but you allow yourself to rest. So important. Vacations are so important. What else do you need? You need to be yourself. This is something that people don't talk about. Women need to be themselves. You need to express yourself honestly. So you need to express your thoughts. You need to express your emotions, the truth of your emotions. You need to be yourself in that you need to be expressing yourself through experiences. So you need hobbies. You actually need interests. You need to be doing things that bring you joy. And you need fulfillment. These things create the world, like Anabell herself. I actually need to express my thoughts, my ideas, my creativity. I need to express my emotions. I need to be really honest about what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I need. I need to have things that make me feel fulfilled. So it's like my hobbies, my interests. I love music. I love reading. I love singing. I love flowers. I love cooking. I love music a lot. Music is like a big expression of mine. I'm learning to play the piano. I love moving my body. I need things like that. I'm very creative. I'm I don't like using the astrological signs, but I'm a Pisces. Pisces are very creative. I literally, what I love about my work is that there's a lot of creativity that I get to use in business. If I wasn't as an entrepreneur, I would be doing something that allows me to be very, very creative. I don't know what that would be, but probably music. I thought I was going to be a songwriter growing up. Or I would like do something with like flowers or something like that. But you need to be yourself. Most women, you have a lot of pain. You suffer a lot because you're not doing the career you love. You're not yourself. You're copying other women. You're trying to be like other women. You're not expressing who you want to be. You're not dressing how you want to dress. You're not wearing your makeup how you want to wear your makeup. I used to always wear dresses and heels and show my cleavage and wear a ton of makeup every single day. And I did not like that. I didn't realize, but that was like hurting me and I was working in a career that I didn't like. Once I learned more about myself and I realized I love if I could wear a blazer and a t-shirt and jeans every day, I'm the happiest woman in the world. I'm also very foo-foo. I do like looking very feminine, but I love blazers. Like I love blazers. One thing I would love to do is like start a blazer line. Like I just love blazers. I also love dresses and wearing skirts and pretty dresses like that. But I also like only wearing makeup like 10% of the time. I love wearing minimal makeup. I also love wearing flats. I went through most of my life dressing the way that I thought I needed to dress, which was sexy. And I hated it. I didn't realize it, but I hated it. Now, if I could wear flats every day, I'm happy as a clam. If I could wear just like more, I love really conservative clothes. I like sweaters. I like t-shirts. I do not like showing my body a lot. I'm just way more conservative, and I didn't realize that that's my natural self. And a lot of you guys are suffering because you're not dressing the way you want to dress. You're not wearing your hair the way you want to wear your hair. I have no extensions in my hair. Like I used to have extensions and wear makeup like this every single day of every single day of my life. Oh my gosh. Once I realized that I didn't have to do that and I gave myself permission to not, like I want a guy that loves me in what I call my 5-minute makeup, because that's what he's going to get most of the time. I still dressed up. I love wearing makeup, especially for videos like this. And whenever I'm creating content, but I don't need to all the time. I want to be able to wear my 5-minute makeup a lot of the time. And so being yourself means looking like you want to look, dressing like you want to dress, wearing your hair like you want to wear your hair. When I'm older, I will go gray. I'm literally going to be one of those old ladies with like just silver. I have so much gray. I dye it all the time. Right now, I'm not ready for that. But when I'm older, I know I'm going to be that way. A lot of you suffer because you don't dress the way you want to dress. You don't have the career you want to have. You don't do your makeup the way you want to. You don't wear, literally, that's one of the biggest forms of expression that women have. And you don't say what you want to say, and you don't express your emotions. The feminine attraction system, I hope, is going to allow you to see that it is one of the hottest and most attractive things to men when you express yourself. It is the most attractive thing. And I know that my content, I believe, is going to help you learn more about that. One of the biggest breakthroughs I had was realizing and admitting to myself that I wanted to pivot my business in doing working with women and their femininity in romantic relationships only. It was such a hard thing for me to decide, because I was terrified to do it, because I believe that your calling feels scary. One of my mentors, Miles Monroe, may he rest in peace, he has a saying. He says, when God introduces you to yourself, you won't believe it, because the real you, although you want it, it feels scary because you want it so much, but it almost feels impossible. Like, how could I do that and people still love me? How could I do that and still make money? How could I do that and still be accepted in this world and not disappoint people? I was terrified to do this part of my business and actually pivot my career and into this specific niche in my coaching. But when I decided to do it, I've never been more happy. But it was really hard because I was doing healing and trauma and all this other stuff before. But the closer I got to God, the more I understood him, the more I understood myself, and the more honest I was able to be with myself and understand that this is what I actually wanted to do, I've never been happier. I still can't believe every day that this is what I do and help women with. But know that one of the things that women need is you need to be yourself. When you're fake, when you're putting on a show like I used to with guys, and I thought that I had to be sexy and perfect and fun and smart and educated and all the things that I thought guys wanted from me and successful and make a lot of money, I only push guys away. Can you relate to this? I think a lot of you can relate to this. I talk about this a lot in my content. So you need to be doing things that bring you a lot of joy, things that are simply for fun, hobbies that you have. This is something that you're going to see that I talk about in the upcoming modules, is the oxytocin you have in your life, and it's the fulfillment in hobbies and interests you have. So being yourself, most important thing about because what this does is when you're yourself, you attract the perfect guy for you. Believe it or not. When you are 100% who you are, this is when Mr. Right is going to find you. How exciting is that? How exciting is that? So if you don't remember anything about this program, remember that. Okay. Excuse me. I'm so mad that I'm sick. But look at this. Even my sickness is not stopping me from giving to you. And lastly, you're an emotional feeler. Women are more emotional. We are more in touch with our emotions. We feel our emotions more. You are somebody who don't ever take it as an insult when a man says you're emotional. Yeah, it's like saying you're such a woman. Duh. Yes, I am. I'm supposed to be. All right, you're an emotional feeler. The last part about the feminine design. You're an emotional feeler because you women. I think of yourself as a sponge. And you're a sponge that soaks up people's emotions. You feel and notice when people are off. Why do you think God made you this way? Because you notice when somebody's off, and sometimes you can feel when someone cries, it'll make you cry. That means you're very intuitive. That means you're very in touch with other people. You have a lot of empathy, which is beautiful. Why? Because we as mothers, we're women and we're made to make babies. We have a womb. That's why we're called womb men. We're made to have to make babies, and when we have babies, we're made to intuit our child's needs. The way we intuit what our child needs, whether they need food or sleep or a diaper change, or to be held and loved and they're in pain, is because we're able to notice people's expressions or just feel their energy. And so a lot of times, this can be a bit of a hindrance if we're way too connected to people. It's not necessarily connection. It's not necessarily called connection. It's called attachment. When you're too attached to people, other people's feelings can overwhelm you too much. You're made to be a feeler so that you can intuit people's needs and you can serve them and you can love your babies. Same for your husband. This is why we notice guys, when they're off or whatever, we're like, right? Don't let that throw you off. This is a tool that when you learn how to use it, you can use it to your advantage and you can use it to influence their feelings. This is what you're going to learn here. Again, this program is not about manipulation. I'm not here. I'm a Christian woman that loves God, that honors men, loves men, that honors the institution of marriage. And I will never teach you anything to try to coerce a guy into falling in love with you. That's not what this program is about. This is about building and creating a great connection with the right man that is for you. And it's about understanding a man and understanding yourself so that you can learn to connect with them and live with them forever and have a long-lasting marriage so that your children are healthy and they're modeled a healthy marriage, right? But knowing that you're an emotional feeler and men are logical thinkers, we're perfect glove. We complement each other. We're the same because we're both humans and we both have spirits with bodies and souls. And we are both we're different because we're male and female, but we're complementary, meaning we're like mirror images and we fit each other perfectly because he's logical and we're emotional. We work together really well. We're a great team, offense and defense, like that, right? This is why Kobe and Shaq work really well together, right? We want to be different. If we were both the same, it would not work. This is why God made man and woman to be together, not women and women, not men and men, women and men. We're supposed to be together, complementary. Okay, so you're supposed to be emotional. You just don't want your feelings to overwhelm yourself, to overwhelm you. You don't want other people's feelings to overwhelm you, and you don't want other people's feelings or reactions to dictate what you do, right? You're just supposed to be able to see people, notice it, and then work with and connect with people because of that, not manipulate them and let them overwhelm you or make them their feelings stop you from doing what you're meant to do, or see what they're doing, then compare it and then do what they're supposed to be doing. Everyone has their own purpose in life, their own career in life, their own relationship, their own body, their own thoughts, their everything. Women, though, we are meant to be emotional. But because of this is a great tool. But I also want to warn you, it's the thing that makes women fall in love really quickly, and you don't want to fall in love too soon. Falling in love, there's nothing wrong with falling in love. It's the process that you take to fall in love, and how you falling in love too quickly will actually push a guy away. Why? You want the process you guys want to fall in love together. Women typically can fall in love sooner, and that's the norm, only because women don't realize how to be they don't know the feminine attraction system. When you know it, you'll be able to fall in love together, versus you fall in love on date number 2 and he's like, I just met you, I don't even know your email address yet, right? You want to use your emotions to and use them to your advantage. Use them, know that it's actually your superpower, because you're going to be able to intuit how he's feeling and see what he's doing, and it's actually going to help you help him fall in love with you.